Portrait hack on canvas, part 2. You love part 1 where we went in with these gorgeous paints from Beam. They're a Canadian art company and their colors were so vibrant. And here's the hack. Voila, really fun. I can't wait to see what you create using this method. It's definitely our most popular thing. We teach this whole process on canvas in our portrait class, and you stay tuned for this. And you stayed around for this second part. If you didn't catch the first part, it's right on our profile here on YouTube. Subscribe for more. So we went into this and we took off from the part where we used Procreate to figure out our next steps on this project. It's a really great way to save time and materials, to experiment with different color theory and pattern. And so I came up with this and I thought this looks really, really cool. Let's try it out. Let's go for it. See if we can pull it off in real life. And we did. So we actually gave that gouache and that watercolor a good spray with a workable fixative. We dusted it off. It's all ready for that next round of media. And so we just dampened it with a cloth, and we're coming in with the golden So Flat acrylics. They're probably our favorite brand of acrylics because I love the finish. I love they're not super glossy. They also glide really easily with a brush. They're very highly pigmented. And a little artist tip and trick here actually is that you can mix your regular goldens with a little bit of primer and you'll get that same sort of consistency and matte finish if you have a whole bunch of golden paints and tubes. Okay, so here's the next step and why we decided to continue this gorgeous pattern throughout. Well, in the fundamentals of design, and this is one kind of piece I'm taking away from art school and giving to you here, is in the fundamentals of design, we learn that repetition of color and pattern throughout the piece in terms of 2D art as well as 3D art. It actually keeps the viewer engaged and it keeps you within the composition. So it's really great to repeat patterns throughout to make your whole piece sing really well. So we really took that theory really, really far. Here we are dampening the canvas once again and coming in. I believe we used a cobalt blue in the So Flats by Golden. And I really love it. I've totally bought that same color many, many times. We're using it in our spring collection in Bloom. It's called Bloom, and we've carried that color as well as, I think it's, let me find it in my studio for you. I'm in the art studio editing, so I'll find it. Light ultramarine blue as well. That's the lighter color on the outside. It works well on paper. It works well on canvas. We really, really loved it. So check that out. Again, you can make your own colors similar to this too. Or Golden makes them in the tubes as well, and just mix it with a little primer and make it more opaque and make it more liquid, and it will dry nice and matte. So we had a total blast figuring this out. Some parts we made some mistakes. It was a lot of pressure because of course that gouache layer underneath that's shining through the pattern, we couldn't fix that really, or we would have had to figure out a way or cover it if we didn't get it quite right. I definitely spent some time going back and forth between the two acrylics and figuring out the best method for this. And the way for her hair and her cool headdress, definitely influenced by that, time period where they did the cool sort of hair things and fancy things. I love including that in the composition and the negative space in my portraiture and on canvas. So we're really excited because I talked a lot in these videos. There's hours of me talking. And we actually put that all in our portrait class as well as our large scale portrait class. So we have smaller versions of working on paper more in the portrait class. We go over everything step by step and how to draw form and how to draw eyes and noses and lips, how to use your pastels properly, how to use colored pencils. And then, of course, in large scale portrait class, we have everything that you need to know about galleries, collectors, creating collections, and taking it even a bit further, working larger, and using whatever you love, like oils or acrylics, whatever you work in, and taking those portrait methods. And then we have some bonus material on murals in there too, because that's scaling your work in a different way. The best part about this, and probably why you're here, is we used oil sticks and pastels on canvas. We're really worried about this actually for a long time. Like, how are we going to figure this out? And the thing about pastels is mineral spirits never fully cure, but like an oil stick by R&F Pastels, those will dry like an oil paint does. So I used a mix of those, and then I went to the paint spot in Edmonton, and she had a spray there that I'll show you at the end of the video. She had a spray that will take care of all of that. It's also by Golden. I'm not being paid by Golden, although that would be lovely. I'm going to shake it up. It's called Gloss Archival Varnish, and stay tuned to the end. I'll show you a picture of that. Kim said this will last for hundreds of years, way after you're dead, so don't worry. And I was like, that's fine with me. So I'm really excited for you guys to try this out. Then one of you actually suggested that we go in and try gold leaf. I don't know why someone said that. I don't know what I had asked, or maybe I would have been like, I don't know what to do next. And they were like, gold. So I was like, yes, okay. I thought the peach maybe was taking away from, because this portrait started with a lot of color theory. We started with blues, and then we were making our midtones and shadows built out of, peaches and oranges mixed with blue and warm browns to make the richness of the shadows even richer, right? So that's how we started the piece, and that, like, with that in mind, with that expressive part. And so the pink turned into gold in the greatest way. And where was I? Where's my head at? Yeah, so the pink wasn't competing with the portrait, which was really, really cool. If you guys have any questions at any time, feel free to comment below. We have all the information and our free guide within this, our free guide for you with everything we used and this process. The link's right below, and part 1's right on our profile. And the cool part is, after we adhered the gold leaf, we let it dry overnight so it really set. We used Mod Podge, which the original Mod Podge is the best, by the way. It rocks. I don't like any of the versions of their Mod Podge. And I've tested a lot of things and failed so many times. So if you're thinking, if you love collage, I'm sure you already have your favorites, but Mod Podge is by far my favorite thing to work with for like a last coat finish on sketchbook stuff and for collaging with paper. So I use Mod Podge, and the cool thing about the spray that I talked about, which I'll show you next after you see me just lovely brushing off gold leaf, so great. The spray is that the gold leaf keeps its sheen. So when I spray this piece for my show in Edmonton at Wild Skies Gallery on May 4th, 2026, it will still be shiny, still be gold. I'm just putting those final touches on in the studio, gonna get there. I'm also experimenting with these R&F oil sticks. I'm hoping they send me some if I bug them enough. So far I've heard crickets, but you never know. I'm meeting one of their artists who does content. She's coming on our Color Me Happy podcast. There's the glass archival varnish. So she works with them a lot, and she's coming on very soon on our podcast. She's Canadian from Vancouver, and so that's really cool. So check out our podcast. There's tons of awesome creatives, big YouTubers on, lots of really cool watercolorists, artists that travel everywhere. We're going to Portugal in 2027. if you want to learn more about that. But thanks for being here. Again, if you have any questions, pop them below. We teach all of this from start to finish, everything you need to know in our classes. Check that out. And of course, check out that link below where you can get the free guide to all of this, everything we used, and how much fun we had in this whole process. And I honestly cannot wait to see what you create. There I am with the oil sticks. I'm ready to use them on that big portrait, which I'm going to do next. So check that out.
If you love this, you're going to absolutely fall in love with this student artwork. We're so proud of these artists, creatives, and beginners on the pieces they created, and they messaged us and said how empowered they felt to keep on creating. So if you want to learn more, check out our portrait class. The link is below. We cannot wait to see what you create using this process. And last but not least, here is Ruby's art. She was 12 years old and she was our very first student. So this is so cool and we cannot wait for you to try it. Check it out below.